Once upon a time, there were 3 cuddly little wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother and father. The first had black fur, the second had grey fur, and the third had white fur. One day, the mother and father called the 3 little wolves around them and said, "My children, it is time for you to go out in the world and build yourself a house.
But please be careful and beware of the big bad pig." Don't worry, Mother and Father. We will be careful and watch out for him.
Soon they met a group of turtles who were pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks up a hill.
Please will you give us some of your bricks?
Certainly. You can have as many as you need. And they gave the wolves lots of red and yellow bricks, so the 3 little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. The very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the 3 little wolves had built. The 3 little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the doors. The pig knocked on the door and grunted,
"Little frightened wolves, let me come in."
No, not by the hair on our chinny-chin-chins. We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the big bad pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his sledgehammer and he knocked the house down. The 3 little wolves only just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. Just then they saw a group of platypuses who was mixing concrete in a concrete mixer.
Please will you give us some of your concrete?
Certainly. How much do you need? And they gave them buckets and buckets full of messy, sloppy concrete. So the 3 little wolves built themselves a house of concrete. No sooner had they finished than the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the 3 little wolves had built. They were playing badminton in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and shut the door. The pig rang the bell and said,
"Little frightened wolves with their trembling chins, let me come in."
No, not by the hair on our chinny-chin-chins. We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his pneumatic drill and smashed the house down. 3 little wolves managed to escape, but the chinny-chin-chins were trembling and trembling and trembling. Then they saw a truck coming along the road carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks.
Please will you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armor plates and some heavy metal padlocks? Of course you can, wolves. We would be happy to help.
So the 3 little wolves built themselves an extremely strong house. It was the strongest house one could possibly imagine. They felt absolutely safe. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The 3 little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house, bolted the doors. A pig dialed the video entrance phone and said,
"Little frightened wolves with their trembling chins and their scorched tails, let me come in."
No, not by the hair on our chinny-chin-chins. We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his dynamite, laid it against the house, lit the fuse, and the house blew up. The three little wolves just managed to escape.
At that moment, they saw a group of koalas coming along, pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. Please will you give us some of your flowers?
With pleasure, our dear friends. And the koalas gave them lots of flowers, so the three little wolves built themselves a house of flowers. It was rather a fragile house, and it swayed in the wind, but it was very beautiful. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of flowers that the three little wolves had built. He rang the blue bell at the door and said,
Little frightened wolves without rumbling chins and their scorched tails, let me come in.
No, not by the hair on our chinny chin chins. We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot.
Then I'll laugh, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
But as he took a deep breath, ready to huff and puff, he smelled the soft scent of the flowers. It was fantastic. And because the scent was so lovely, the pig took another breath and then another. Instead of huffing and puffing, he began to sniff. He sniffed deeper and deeper until he was quite filled with the fragrant scent. His heart grew tender and he realized how horrible he had been. Right then, he decided to become a big good pig. At first, the three little wolves were a bit worried. It might be a trick, but soon they realized that the big bad pig had truly changed. So they came running out of the house and started playing games with him.
Then they invited him into their house. They offered him tea and strawberries and wolfberries and asked him to stay with them as long as he wanted.